Hey, what's up, guys? I got to get some work done on my plasma machine here. It's been a little over a year now, maybe a year and a half, and I haven't really done any maintenance to it. With the rails, with the water, they kind of rust. They get little surface rust. So I'm going to clean that up today and get this thing where it's back to being ready to cut some material. So the plan is, I'm gonna got some WD-40 here, some paper towel, some Scotch-Brite. I think the Scotch-Brite with some WD-40 is gonna take the rust off pretty good. And I'll use the paper towel to wipe it clean. So the bearings ride right on either side of this. On both sides, they ride there. That's what holds it solid. So that's the part I'm mostly concerned with. I've noticed some bumps and noises as the gantry's running across the bed. Not much you can do when you got a water-cooled plasma. It's gonna spray a bunch of water up. I just recommend that if you're gonna do this, you would have something like this that you clean it regularly. Now this is a machine I picked up from a company called STV CNC. They're actually kind of like an off-road kind of company. And they were selling these at a pretty reasonable price. 5x10 is what I picked up. My sheets of steel are 4x10. Does a pretty good job. You get a decent plasma cutter. This machine will run it pretty good. You can see there's still surface rust, but the surfaces that the bearings ride on, that's the key. That's this little edge right there. They ride right in there, and there's another on the other underside of it. It's the same profile. 2-row bearings. And then there's grease fittings inside. I had a grease gun. I put the grease gun on there, and of course, I couldn't get the grease gun off and broke one. So, had to go buy a new one. There it is there. Bought this lock and lube. Now, from what the reviews I saw on it, it works pretty good. I just hope that it's not too big to fit onto or into the areas where I have fittings. It's definitely got some pressure, but I'm not seeing any grease come out anywhere. Kind of scary. Probably coming out on the inside. Comes right off. That's the way to do it. So for plasma, got the Everlast Plasma, Power Plasma 62i. It says it'll cut up to a 1/4 inch, but I've cut like a 1/2 inch on it. 5/8 actually, pretty much no problem. Okay, I'm gonna put a new swirl ring on it. The one I've had on there has been on there since the beginning. I've dropped it. It's just had a lot of stuff going through it. These swirl rings, they're angled. They got angled holes in them, which swirls the air. And what I've learned is if you don't have it in the right way, it doesn't cut a very clean straight edge. It cuts kind of a concave, or it just doesn't do well. This electrode's not in terrible shape. As you can see, it's got a pretty good pit in the middle. I don't go crazy with tightening them up, just make it just nice, just snug so it doesn't come loose on you. Make sure I try to get my oils from my fingers off of it so that it doesn't contaminate it, cause heating issues. I want the swirl ring to swirl the air in clockwise fashion, so I'm going to drop that in there. Hopefully it don't tip over. There's the old parts. You can see they're not worn out, but it's better to change into new ones before you wear out the old ones, because it makes for a heck of an exciting cut while you're making cuts.